Hi, THR family. I'm JJ Finley.
I'm TA.
I'm MC.
All right, and welcome to the Homeschooling Roundtable. So today we're going to be talking about 4 questions. One of them we kind of already discussed was going to college. The other 3 are standardized tests, SATs, and let's see. Do you guys have another one?
I think that's it. I think we're good. We can do that.
That's it. All right. So SATs, ACTs. SATs are not going to be required for certain colleges, and they're actually not going to be taking them. So ACTs are what more people are going towards because it's a better gauge of your learning level. And so I know for me, I took the ACT and it was certain parts were easy for me, but certain parts were hard just because everybody learns at different levels. And so certain things that people learn better, it makes it easier for them to do that test. Now, I know it's different for everyone. So standardized tests, I did for a lot of the years, but not every year because it wasn't necessary for me to do it every single year because it wasn't something that my school was looking at. When I was homeschooled, we did it under a charter school, which made things being paperwork a lot easier. Now, I know you two have different experiences because I know TA hasn't done that yet, and
no, I haven't taken the ACT yet.
So,
I do want to say something really quick.
What's that?
Okay, that's one of the great things about homeschooling is a lot of kids actually learn a lot differently than what a public school setting would give them. Okay, so like for myself, I'm an auditory learner. So I'm like, if I'm going to do a book report, usually I look up like a audiobook or something, because I'm going to get the most information about that. Okay. I know when I was younger, in previous years, my mom used to read to me some of the actual school books because I'm auditory. So it's like, okay, I can grasp that more than I would than just sitting down and reading a book. Now, I know that a lot of people are different than that, and I might get some controversy on this, but when you're in a public school setting, a lot of times you are basically forced to learn a certain way, okay?
Yeah.
So, like, you're forced to sit in a classroom with a whole bunch of people, and some people learn better when they're alone, or some people learn better when they're with their siblings or something, and that's what homeschooling really is going to do. So, but some people still are like that. And if you're like that and you don't want to homeschool, then great, go ahead. You don't have to. But if you're like that and you do want to homeschool, there's still resources like co-ops. And I think, what is that other thing? I don't remember the other thing. Like, okay, there's American Heritage Girls.
Yes.
Like that's a Christian Girl Scouts, if you're not well aware.
Or Rangers for the young men.
Yeah. Right. Stuff like that. So like there's still resources you can do in a semi-classroom setting that you can still learn and then yet still learn in your pace, and you're still learning. So that's why a lot of times when people, the stereotypical, oh, homeschoolers are smarter, well, that's because they're learning on their level.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
So sorry, I was going to say that.
If you don't want your kids to go through like stuff that they're teaching wrong, then just go ahead and homeschool.
Yeah. If you don't agree with that, that's just something that you don't just sit and be like, okay, you know what, you can teach them whatever, even if I don't agree with that. They're going to end up rebelling from you as a parent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the school's going to tell you all these things. Okay, you need to do this, you need to do this. And the kid's going to start believing that. Like, okay, this is okay, I'm just gonna go on to this rant for a second. I was not homeschooled my entire life. My mom actually started traditionally homeschooling me in the 7th grade. And then I think since the 3rd grade, I was in a online school called ECOT, which was an online school that was shut down by the state, which is a very long conversation that I'm not going to explain, but if you want to learn about it, it's online, okay? But anyway, I was homeschooled for a little bit, and I remember before that, I was in a charter school, which basically has the exact same curriculum as a public school would. The only difference really is you're wearing a uniform, okay?
Yeah.
That's really the only difference, okay? So I remember we had to sit in a classroom, it wasn't a classroom, it was a library, we had to take a test. It was called the public safety test. And
Hmm.
this is, I think, very famous to a lot of public schools, that you need to take this public safety test. That is like, okay, in the beginning, it looks normal. You got to be like, okay, you got to use your blinkers if you're in your car or whatever. You have to use reflectors if you have a bike on, or you have to wear a helmet, all these things, okay?
Yeah.
It's logical information that you need to know, right? I
Yeah.
would need to know that. However, that test, I remember, yeah, okay. I remember that test did not have all those questions. I do remember one specific question that was like, okay, there's a group of people walking off to the side asking you if you want to join them at night and you're on your bike. If you go with them, what would your parents do? Would they discipline you? Would they ground you? Or would they do nothing? And that right there is a question that the school system does not need to know.
Yeah,
okay?
they really don't need to know how your parents are disciplining you, because that's between your parents and God. That's between them.
Yeah.
That's not between the ruling authorities, because as the Bible says, I'm going to bring this in here. The Bible says, spare the rod, you hate the child.
Yep.
So it's one of those things where discipline is necessary, because I've heard this, you'll have to look it up. I'm just going to say, look this up, double check me on this. But there's a statistic somewhere where people who didn't get disciplined feel like their parents didn't love them growing up, and they're more likely to be disappointed with their parents because they didn't get disciplined. And if you look at the kids who are disciplined and kids who aren't, the kids who are disciplined are more respectful, they're more honoring, they do better with their work ethic, and they're just overall more well-rounded.
Yeah.
So,
and then in the long run, what they're really, I do want to say this, if there's any, parents out there who has their kids homeschooled, okay? I'm not like, this is what's happening, okay? Because a lot of people don't understand that. So really what's happening when those people answer that, and it's, in the school system, how you're raising your child is how they can dock it more to the kid themselves to say that the school system knows better than you as a parent. Okay, so that is a very, very logical reason why parents pull their kids out, because they're just trying to dock, okay, if this is how your parents are raising you, this is how on the flip side that I can go back, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. All right. Well, I think that has answered the questions for today. We will talk to y'all on the next episode. But we will see you then. Leave a like and subscribe. Also leave a comment as well to let us know your thoughts. They'll get read, but we may or may not answer you. So I'm just going to put that out there. We may or may not answer you, depending on what the question is. So, and if you have any suggestions on what you would like to hear, let us know. This is a series of questions. So we will be doing a series, and then after that, we'll see where we go with it. But yeah, so that's all we have for today. So we will see you on the next episode. Bye, THR family.
Bye.